Hi folks, this is all the fruit. Here I have the plum mango, also known as kundong, gandaria or ramania. A really mysterious fruit. I mean, yeah, its uniqueness starts already with the seed. Do you know another plant that has such a bright purple seed? Actually, it's losing color very quickly. I cut those things 2 or 3 minutes ago, and while I was taking the pictures for the thumbnail, the color already starts paling, but it's still quite bright. It is quite an enigmatic and really fancy fruit, which you can find mostly in Southeast Asia. It seems to be native or cultivated in most of the area. Yeah, and that's where the problem begins, native or cultivated. It goes on with the fact that there are 3 species in the genus. 2 of them are of some importance, Bouea macrophylla and Bouea oppositifolia. And this stuff is usually being marketed as Bouea macrophylla whenever somebody bothers to give it a Latin name. Basically, it's a very expensive fruit in every country I've seen it. It's often being marketed in upscale fruit shops, usually packed in fancy packaging and stuff. Don't know why, probably because of the unique look, especially because of the unique seeds. I bought those 2 batches not in fancy fruit shops. This I bought on a vegetable market, and it said kundang muda, so young kundang, and the fruits are definitely unripe. They still cost 18 ringgit a kilo. Right now you can get most fruits here for around 5 to maximum 10 ringgit a kilo. So 18 ringgit for an unripe fruit is quite a lot. Those here were in a normal fruit shop, not an upscale one, although fruit shops are always a little bit fancier than veggie shops here. And it cost 25 ringgit a kilo, so about 5 times more than most normal fruits. And it's consistent with what I have noticed from Thailand and from Indonesia. Here I'm on the east coast of West Malaysia, by the way. So really fancy fruit. Yeah, tourists can encounter it mostly in places like Thailand or Bali. And it's kind of popular. Well, why is it called plum mango? It's not a mango, it's not in the genus Mangifera. However, it looks very much mango-like. All the way down to this asymmetry, like the peduncle attaches not exactly opposite of the tip, but both are a little bit, how shall I say, disaligned. Peduncle is on this side, and then the fruit is kind of slightly asymmetrical. Well, the next big problem is this species, Bouea macrophylla versus oppositifolia. Yeah, macrophylla sounds really fancy, that's why this stuff is usually being marketed as macrophylla. I haven't seen any genetic or similar studies on the cultivars, but I managed to read through quite a dry morphological study of both species, where they used wild fruits, I assume. And they concluded that Bouea macrophylla has bigger fruits than Bouea oppositifolia. In Bouea macrophylla, the skin as well as the flesh is red, while in Bouea oppositifolia it's yellow. Also, Bouea macrophylla has round fruits, while Bouea oppositifolia has elongated fruits. Well, all those things would put this thing more in the Bouea oppositifolia range. The fruits are oval, flesh and skin are, well, I would call it orange. The phone shows it a little bit less orange than I see it, but definitely not red. It's more yellow than red. Well, in the size here, those are cultivars, so they can be a bit bigger than the wild fruit. So I would call this stuff Bouea oppositifolia. Wikipedia also seems to follow this lead. because their photo of Bouea oppositifolia looks more or less like this stuff, and Bouea macrophylla, they show the other species. However, I've never seen a ripe macrophylla or red macrophylla, and it seems almost impossible to find pictures online. Most of the pictures are of unripe fruit. Here in Asia, a lot of fruits are being used unripe, so yeah, often you don't even get to see the ripe fruit. Now let's try the stuff, which I think is Bouea oppositifolia. First, still not completely ripe. Well, they're kind of softish. I guess they were picked unripe and stayed in the market for a long time. Huh. Okay, just managed to bite off one of the cotyledons. Now I got the whole seed, surrounded by some sort of yellow skin, while the seed is bright purple. Now the flesh, pale yellow at this stage, already quite soft. The main taste is a mild sourness, like of a half-ripe plum. There is also some sweetness, and the typical Bouea flavor, which is turpentine-like. It has been described similar to the Alfonso mango. Maybe that's why this stuff is being called the plum mango. Now the fancy fruits, which are supposed to be completely ripe. By the way, I got the fancy ones for free, because I bought some mangoes which were not very fresh anymore. So here I managed to remove the seed. In the skin, the fruit is nice and considerably more sweet. I would say here the dominant taste is sweetness. The sourness is a lot less, the sweetness is a bit more. Not a bad fruit, to be honest, but I wouldn't say it's superior, for example, to mango. It is a bit less sweet, it has a bit less flavor, and it's a lot more expensive. So yeah, well, let's try this one before I make a final verdict. Even more sweet. Not bad. Yeah, it's good. I would put it more or less on par with the mango, although the mango has a better flavor, I would say. But it's usually several times more expensive than a mango, so if you manage to find it, definitely buy it. And then you can decide what you will buy regularly. Plum mango or normal mango. By the way, don't confuse it with Assam plum, the plum mango, which is basically the seedling Mangifera indica that are abundant in Malayu villages. Assam plum is normal Mangifera indica. This year is not even Mangifera, it's Bouea. So folks, please tell me your experience with Bouea. Tell me whether you consider it superior to mango. Tell me whether you like it. Apart from that, stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the beautiful and incredibly fruit-rich country of Malaysia. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.